Hello, this is Arnold. In this chapter 17, we'll be talking about actual plotting, base out limit. Familiar ang title? It is because ang chapter 15 na to is ang actual plotting furious. What does this mean? It means nga, humanata sa ato furious. Now let's welcome base out limits. What comprises of the base out limits? They are the tests number 9, 10, 16a, and 16b. Let's have a review on what blur point, breakpoint, and recovery point is all about. So if you want to review, you can take a screenshot or pause the video so that you can read it yourself. Then we have here the blur test and break recovery test according to OEP, or the Optometric Extension Program. But since this topic is all about actual plotting of the base out limits, we will have to focus on these following tests, which I've already mentioned earlier, the number 9, 10, 16a, and 16b. So now let's get to the topic mismo. How to plot the base out limit. We have here to take note, this is a base out limit, meaning there is no FORIA. Walay EXO, walay SO. Unya, wala say X nga legend. This is a base out limit, so PM is always naa siya'y plus. So naa siya'y plus permente. Ang ato, PM for the base out limit. And if number 9 is equals to X, meaning walay blur ang ato number 9, then you can use the number 10 break for plotting. And then here we have the circle for blur, square for break, and triangle for recovery. Blur because kuan man siya blur, so mura siya circle, di ba? Yeah, ngari square kay kuan ba sakto ba? Square is a rectangle, so we can say na breaktangle. Nya nasa tay triangle for the recovering, ang V kay mura man siya triangle. So na siya. But anyway, we have here the legend. So you may forget what I said earlier sa kining mga mnemonics nako because naraman nga rin ang legend sa chart mismo. So there's no need for memorization. Now, let's have an example. So this chart here is actually based from chapter 16 graph, which is a myopia case. So according to that data, we've gathered all the RX MSE, which is equivalent to negative 1.50. And number 7 finding nato na MSE is negative 2. So here we have our number 9 is equal to 22 prism. Unsa maning number 9 nato? This is our blur test. So, unsa may pasabatan ng blur? That is circle. Okay? And then our AD here is 0. Nga no, ang ato AD is 0. Because number 9 is a FAR test. Meaning, wala siya accommodative demand at FAR. And then for our AL, it is negative 2. Asa man tagikan aning negative 2? That is from the lens in place. Unsa may lens in place nato sa number 9? From a myopia case. That would be our number 7 finding. Thus, we use the number 7 MSE here, which is equivalent to negative 2. Ano yung ato TSA nga rin kay 2. Nga no? Because minus lens stimulates the accommodation. That's why TSA is equals to 2 diopters. And then CD is equals to 0 because AD nato kay 0. So 0 times 6 is equals to 0. And then PM is plus 22. Don't forget the sign. Ang getting plus. We are still in the base out limit, so PM is always plus. So ato ra niya ang CD o PM, so TZ is equals to plus 22 triangle. Oh no, circle. This is circle because it is blur. Ang kining sa triangle di kay prism. So 22 prism. Yeah, indicated with circle. So you can also use like 22 then na siya circle but mura siya ko ano, mura siya degree kitaon. Anyway, that's for you. Basta kay sakto ra ang kanang pag-graph nimo nya dili ka maglibog. So as you can see here, ang ato TSA nga ray kay 2, anya ato TC kay 22. So nakita ninyo na naa siya nga rin no, giplot ang ato circle. That would be for our number 10. So naa siya dapat nga ray 10. The next is ato number 10 is 25 over 19. 25 is our break and 19 is our recovery. What does that mean? Magdoble taog buhat aning sa CD PM kay duhaman ang prism measurement. So first is ang AD na to is 0 because 10 is a far test. AL is equals to negative 2 because that is the lens in place for our number 10. So ang ato TSA is also 2 diopters. And then sa CD is 0 because AD is 0. PM is equals to plus 25 because our break is 25. So ato TC is plus 25 which is indicated by a square. Okay? So you can also write it like this, 25 square. And don't forget the plus sign there. Don't forget. And then for the recovery, we have the PM of plus 19, indicated with the triangle. So depende ra gid na ninyo kung saan na ninyo pagsuwat. Basta kay sakto lang inyong answer. Okay. We're done with the FAR tests, which are the number 9 and number 10. Now let's proceed with the 16A and 16B, in which we have to note for the lens in place. For myopia, we have to use the older X. For hyperopia or emetropia, we have to use number 7. And for presbyopia, we have to use the NAT number 14B prescription. Okay? Since this is a myopia case, what does that mean? That means that we have to use the old RX MSE. So, negative 1.50. Bali, ang atong magamit ani na AL, auxiliary lens, ang lens in place kay ang negative 1.50. You have to remember this because this is kanang often nga makalimtan. Ang ato AD nga rin is 2.50 because 16A is a near test, meaning 16 inches. So, 40 divided by 16 is equals to 2.50 diopters. So, 2.50 gi-stimulate siya sa 1.50 na minus lens. So, mahimo ato TSA nga 4. Kanya ato CD is plus 15 because 2.50 times 6 is equals to 15. Kanya ato PM nga rin plus 15 because, again, base out limit pa ta, so always plus. So T is equals to plus 30 prism, indicated with circle. And then our 16B nga rin kay 21 over 18 siya. So again, duha siya kabuok. Kini, CD. So you just have to solve it. Also, ang kining 16B kay ang gamiton kay ang negative 1.50 because that is the lens in place. Not only that, kanang 16A, 16B lang ato ibutang reha, but also sa katong 17A, 17B. But since 17A and 17B are based in limit, so out of the topic pa na siya. So, focus lang sa taning sa 16A, 16B. Okay? And then, you just have to plot for it. Ang kining for example, kini TSA 4. Anya, ato TC kay plus 36. So, dira nimo ibutang ang square. Don't forget lang yun sa mga shapes because once na marong ka sa shape, wrong sa dim answer. Because that means na you did not understand what you are computing for. And then lastly is ang pagbutang aning linya. Meaning, nanatay, if kini kay Fourier line, ang sa ni pangan, this is our base out limit line. Basta ka na limit. So, mo na siya. Ang ako ko na ni, ang ako style ni kay, i-kuan siya, marag iigo gani siya sa mga blur tests because when we are to locate later on sa katong mga 16A nato kay mugamit man siya sa kining mga blur tests which ang 16A kay blur tests. So, yeah, mas maayo na sa circle nimo siya igo. But you have to take into consideration na dapat ang imo sad maporma kay parallelogram. What does parallelogram mean? Meaning kuan siya kanang like equal sila, murag equal sila og kuan. Like a straighton gani dili siya more on like maana siya because that would not be called a parallelogram. Parallel meaning na siya parallel lines sa iyasud. So that is a tip sa kuan paghimo sa parallelogram of the zone of comfort. So yeah, inana lang line niya i-kuan sad siya i-connect sad ani siya para mo-forma gid siya. And that ends for this video about the actual plotting of the base out limits. Stay tuned for the next chapter, chapter 18, which is about locating. Unsa ato i-locate? Of course, ang ato ra bag-o na topic, which is about the base out limit. Thank you very much for listening, and